Hello and welcome to another episode of Wootaboots, the Scrap Heap Challenge. I didn't mean to say Scrap Heap there. Of course, this is the Scrap Heap Challenge. That would be a trademark infringement.
It would in fact be Scrap Mechanic Challenge.
Scrap Mechanic Challenge. Moving very, very quickly on, and we won't ask what that is over there. You notice we have been doing a bit more decorating around the base. We now have our museum of modern wonders up here, of all the things we've built over time, both in challenges and outside. The racetrack is always the same. I'm Dansan, he's
Oldboy.
And today's challenge will be for the sink. I just realised there's two of them. Let me get rid of that one. The scrap mechanic sink, which doesn't look like it's been used at all. It looks like a brand new bar of soap.
It does. It looks very pink and shiny.
Obviously, as mechanics, we don't care for personal hygiene.
Well, I would have thought we'd care more for Sporfiga than bars of soap, unless it's carbolic soap, in which case...
Dirty fingers on the sandwiches, that's what I'm saying, and build up your own digestive immunities. It's a good job my mother doesn't watch these. Talking about mothers, shall we ask the wizard of the challenges what today's challenge is?
I think that would be a good idea. I'm just going to take...
Here's an interesting fact, old boy. Even though we have been discussing what this challenge is, someone was reading their phone.
Someone was reading their phone.
And wasn't paying attention to what was going on around them.
And it wasn't me, despite the fact that I'm the one with the new phone.
It was me, and I'm not sorry.
What is the challenge?
There was mention of a catapult, and then I think that was...
That's next episode.
That's next episode.
That's next episode.
Spoilers.
Thank
Spoilers.
you. Spoiler alert. Do you want a clue?
I would like a clue. Yes, that would be nice.
Maybe it's something that has to fit. Like, you wouldn't believe we actually prepare these in advance. Maybe it's something that has to fit inside this box.
Oh, the smallest vehicle you can make? No, you're looking at me like I'm crazy here.
I'm looking like you're fired.
Am I?
Yes, right.
Well, I'll go back to reading my phone, frankly.
Well, thank you for your valued input, as always. Right. So we're trying to make vehicles, fully functional cars, that have to look like cars, have to act like cars, have to be functional as cars, and they have to fit into a 4x5 space.
So I was right, the smallest vehicle.
But they aren't 4x5 when we drive them.
What?
They come packaged.
Packaged vehicles.
Yes.
Yeah. So to demonstrate, it is actually possible to build a 4x5 vehicle. So I will just...
Oh my.
And because you put it on a
plinth,
you can't jump onto the top of it.
But this is hilarious.
I have actually been rumbled here because you put it on a plinth. So
I know, it's hilarious. Are you up there?
Hold on.
Up there.
So you can build this, and you can press go.
Yeah.
And then you can press
and
E.
it falls off the side and dies.
And it falls over because it's not designed to fall off a one-by-one plinth. But the fact remains that it is possible to build a functional vehicle that fits into a small space. I'm just going to put that over there for a moment.
Is there a restriction on height?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Right, but you are judging this.
I get that. I'm supposed to set the challenge here, and you've nixed my idea.
And you're also going to judge it.
I'm going to judge it, right.
Yes, and then next episode we'll do the thing that you just mentioned.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so what we do now is a very fast build. Whee! Okay, we have our inventions ready and built, and there's absolutely no pre-building in this whatsoever. We did that just literally as I was spinning round and round in circles.
Honest.
So they are, as always, starkly different inventions. Who would you like to inspect first? Have you cheated by making yours lime green again?
I know nothing.
Is this your ongoing strategy? And yet again, I have failed to paint my invention. Would you like to? Who would you like to see first?
Let's go with the big one first.
Let's go with the big one. You must be referring to me. Family friendly. Right. Okay. I'm going to take mine out here because mine requires a little space to unfold. So, what you have is a beautiful 5x4 package. Okay, electric powered. You notice that you can get into it now, although this may be a bit stomach churning if you do. It's more designed that you take it out the garage and then you climb in the car rather than you use it. And very simply, the first step is to unfold very Transformer style. Okay, and you notice these legs come out a little bit because it has to go off the floor for the motors, basically. And once you're in, you may be thinking this is a bit weird because forward goes backwards, but that's because you haven't swiveled yourself around for the final step of the transform. Okay, and there you have it, a working car with some limited steering. And I just went off the edge of a ramp and didn't mean to because I grounded myself there. It's okay because you can sort of just get out of any trouble. And interestingly, if you have actually uprighted yourself, it will effectively... Yeah, I think I've dug myself in a hole here, actually. It's not getting any better. So, that was my invention. Oldboy, over to yours.
Okay.
Wait a second. Do we have any judges' questions or comments on this Tower Inferno?
Yeah, okay, well, it was supposed to fit on the plinth.
It does.
But you didn't start there.
Oh, no, because I wouldn't make it into the bar. And unlike some other players, I find knocking myself unconscious as I go underneath to be a thing. Like, it will start there. Like, there is no worry. It is definitely the right size.
It is definitely not.
Have you changed the size of the plinth?
No, why would I change the size of the
I
plinth?
made my thing too big. What's the challenge?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a minute.
Hold on. It was
How many squares is a... How many squares is a pilot seat? Because that was the original challenge.
What's the deal here?
3, 4,
Whatever I said was...
5. You have actually overbuilt your vehicle.
No. That's the seat.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I built it too big, haven't I? No, it's not. It's the right length.
No, you have actually built it the right length. You have made the plinth one set of blocks too short. Okay.
That's all right. We've established that the plinth size is irrelevant. Okay, let's put it over there. It's easy solved. Also, my controls are a bit weird in that I seem to only be able to move... Oh no, I've just got my fingers in the wrong place on the keyboard. It has been a long day. You're saying, oh boy, let's see how well yours fares.
In keeping with the usual chaos of Scrap Mechanic Challenge, I have managed to build something that works beautifully until you put it on the vehicle lift. And then, for some reason, despite the fact that I've set the minimum distance on the pistons, it reduces everything to 0. And it deactivates all of the functions of the control box. So
I actually quite like this because it kind of looks like you could actually just sit on this top part and just drive off just with a saddle and 3 wheels.
So what it should do is it should not do this.
You know what? I feel so much better about mine right now. And
but that is purely a fault of the fact that as soon as you put it on the vehicle lift, it apparently unfolds in the wrong configuration. But if it lands reasonably upright, right, that'll do. I can actually do something with that.
So when you get out of the garage and it's just bounced around and knocked out yourself in the morning,
then what you do is you push a button.
Also, your neighbour's cat.
And it deploys itself. So ordinarily, it would fold up like that with the saddle above the height of the wheels, and then when you deploy it, saddle drops down, the wheels fall into place.
And you
can then reverse, and again you have a rudimentary steering, but because I made it a little too narrow, it does have the world's biggest turning circle and a tendency to wobble whenever you touch the steering controls.
Is your steering window circle actually bigger or smaller than mine, I wonder?
I wouldn't like to hazard at this point. I certainly wouldn't like to take the steering challenge on this bike.
You got it! I didn't even hit you with a hammer. So there is no self-righting of yours. You are now permanently... And if you had your shopping in the back there, I would suggest those eggs would be scrambled.
Well, I would suggest that too, but honestly, are you going to take a 3-wheeler to do the family shopping?
So do you have any questions about this vehicle? I mean, let's talk about its bonus points. Okay, first of all, as always, he's bothered to paint it.
Yeah, it is green.
It is green. He's
It's
also
green.
got front and brake lights on.
Yeah.
He is. You know how
Are
much
they
I swear.
functioning though?
They're not actually brake lights. If I deploy it, they are in fact just headlights and tail lights. Brake lights would be lovely, but I'm just not that good yet.
I like how he's hidden his switches underneath the seat, and the seat goes down. I actually take credit for this seat going down because originally, right, we halfway through his building, his seat was like 20 foot in the air. Going, look, it all tucks away, but I'm very top heavy. I was like, why don't you just put it on the piston and bring it back down again? And then about 6 more hours of swearing trying to get it to work. But I like it.
It sadly still does not function the way I want it to, and I think part of my beef is as soon as you put the vehicle on the lift, this lovely inward 15-degree angle when it's folded up turns into a 90-degree, and the piston resets to 0.
So I had something similar, and in the end, what I did on mine was I brought it in a step.
Yeah.
Oh, it's another thing.
See now, what I totally failed to understand about yours, and you'll forgive me because I know you've got to save costs, but why didn't you just take this block and this block out, and this block and this block out, and then you could have the wheel arms, for want of a better description, fold down further. That would A, lift the engines further off the ground, and B, it would make the wheels land. It would make the steering wheels land more square,
Right.
which would extend
I didn't
your
need to originally.
turning circle.
So I didn't need to. My idea was never to put the engines underneath. I just ran out of time. The engines were actually going to be strapped to this thing and fold out. So the engines were never supposed to be underneath. And that's why. This was never supposed to look like this.
Then you could then. I'm going to monkey with it for a second if I can find out which box is which. This one. So you could enormously shorten these.
Oh no,
these pistons.
They're not even supposed to be on here. They're literally supposed to be here. So this was like a very quick fix to get around the problem. The wheel, the front wheels. This isn't part of the judgment, by the way. As a working very car, the wheels are supposed to be this part, and it all works beautifully at that point. But I wanted a square base because when I folded it out, I wanted the seat was also supposed to be up here, and it was originally, but then it got a bit. It just got a bit silly, basically. But my folding arm to make it all tuck away
That's quite funky.
I'm quite happy with it. Although it sometimes gets a bit top heavy folding back up, and it does fold up quite nicely.
It does.
But I didn't want to do what you did, where I wanted to be correct on the stand, whereas originally I had this thing where you had it going just a little bit in to make that wheel come in over the 4x3, 4x5, whatever. Anyway, to the judgment. We have to, as always, crack on. We're very bad at overrunning these videos. Do you wish to declare a winner or...
See, it just doesn't want to know, does it?
They both have flaws. I think we're both big...
Yeah, I'm just going to give up. I'm just going to put it back over here, and I'm going to stop.
I like them.
It's a very tough call, because I do like the swivel seat on Dansans. But at the same time, it's not going to fit in the average family carriage.
Here's the thing. The seat is a stock component.
The swivelling seat?
Oh, no, the swivelling seat. The swivelling seat isn't. The swivelling seat does swivel. But this one goes up and down.
Yes. I was getting to that, dear.
All right. Why?
So Oldboy's is a lot more compact, and I think it would actually fit in the garage. And I do like the colour, so I'm going to have to go with Oldboy. I'm sorry.
Oh, I got a trophy!
The kitchen sink.
I got the kitchen sink.
There we go. You might actually put it on a block. That might be a...
I guess so. Yes! A trophy.
First trophy, leaving us 2-1. And a very good end to the episode. And on to the next one, I think, at this point.
Yeah, which will be... Well, we already did the spoiler.
Catapults.
Catapults, apparently.
Catapults.
Or launching devices.
launching devices of some form. And there's a twist here. The thing that you're launching is your co-presenter.
The thing that you're launching is your co-presenter. Oh, and I was going to build a tennis ball launcher. Now I'm going to have to upgrade that significantly. I mean...
All right, then. We shall see you in the next episode. I've been
Later,
Dansan.
folks. I've been Oldboy.
We'll see you soon.